Hello everyone, and welcome to my video on Aristotle and tragedy. Now some of this information can get confusing and it may be unclear to you, and that's okay. The intention of this video is to provide a little background information on tragedy and highlight some of the concepts that will be most important for our purposes. So, here you can see Aristotle's definition of tragedy. Tragedy is an imitation of an action that is complete and whole, and of a certain magnitude. Just as in the other imitative arts, one imitation is always of one thing, so in poetry is the story an imitation of action, and must represent one action, a complete whole, with its several incidents so closely connected that the transposal or withdrawal of any one of them will disjoin and dislocate the whole. Okay, some pretty complicated stuff going on here, but his definition of tragedy translates into the three dramatic unities, which I'll speak briefly about. The unity of action means that the plot of a play should be relatively linear, relying upon apparent cause and effect, and have few or no subplots to distract from the main narrative. And then there's the unity of space, meaning the location represented by the play should remain constant throughout the course of the performance. And then finally, the unity of time. Events depicted in a play should ideally take place in a single day or real time with few or no flashbacks or flash forwards. Now, for our purposes, this is just some helpful background information, but I don't expect you to memorize any of this. I'm more concerned with the following concepts. So tragedy is the imitation of an action according to the law of probability or necessity. Please note here that imitation of an action means mimesis. And so tragedy is rooted in the fundamental order of the universe. It creates a cause and effect chain that clearly reveals what may happen at any time or place because that is the way the world operates. Tragedy, therefore, arouses not only pity but also fear because the audience can envision themselves within this cause and effect chain. Now, according to Aristotle, there are 6 elements of tragedy, and these are plot, character, thought, diction, song, and spectacle. Here I will go into a little bit more detail on the elements of plot and character, as these are the 2 most important elements according to Aristotle. Now for plot, Aristotle defines this as the arrangement of the incidents, or the way the incidents are presented to the audience, the structure of the play. And for character, the protagonist should be renowned and prosperous, so his change of fortune can be from good to bad. This change should come about as a result of some great error or frailty in a character. So tragedy features the fall of a great man. And this tragic hero is neither a villain nor a model of perfection. The tragic hero has admirable characteristics and is highly renowned and prosperous. Moving on to hamartia or hamartia, it means to miss the mark, and it is frequently translated into tragic flaw or tragic mistake. But later on in our unit, we'll talk about why the label of tragic flaw is problematic. In any case, hamartia means an error in judgment, an accident caused by ignorance. It initiates an inevitable sequence of events, producing an outcome contrary to the protagonist's intentions. So when reading or watching a tragedy, see if you can pick out the tragic hero's fatal mistake or accident. Moving on to catharsis, it means purgation or purification. According to Aristotle, tragedy should evoke pity and fear in the audience, leading finally to catharsis, which is the release or cleansing of these emotions. You could also think of it this way. Catharsis is an experience that brings pity and fear into their proper balance. Tragedy is then a corrective. Through watching tragedy, the audience learns how to feel these emotions at proper levels. So now we're moving on to elements of a tragic plot, and we'll just talk about a couple of these. Peripeteia means a reversal of circumstances or turning point. It is the shift of the tragic protagonist's fortune from good to bad. Now, spoiler alert, in Sophocles' Oedipus Rex, the peripeteia occurs towards the end of the play when the messenger brings Oedipus news of his parentage. And now, anagnorisis, a moment in a play or other work when a character makes a critical discovery. In the Aristotelian definition of tragedy, it was the discovery of one's own identity or true character, or of someone else's identity or true nature. And then another spoiler alert here, Oedipus recognizes his wife Jocasta as his mother, the man he slew at the crossroads as his father, and himself as the unnatural sinner who brought misfortune on Thebes. So that would be Oedipus's anagnorisis. So thank you for watching my little video on Aristotle and tragedy. I look forward to studying Oedipus Rex with you all soon and talking about these in more detail in class.